Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope that you're having a fantastic time wherever you may be around the globe. This is certainly a great day. A brand new day, a brand new year, a brand new month to be intentional and get that book started. We're going to talk about something very important today and very exciting. So I want you to grab that pen, grab that notebook, and get ready to take notes because today we're going to share with you some very important parts of writing your book. The necessity of writing your book, some things that need to be done, some things that you need to think about when you put your book together. And, we've been talking about this maximizing your potential. And that's exactly what we try to help you to do by giving you tidbits, by giving you some things that you could do, some things that you could think about, those actionable steps to bring you into a place where you maximize your potential, that you don't leave any money on the table, where you write your book and your book is out there working for you instead of you struggling, trying to make ends meet, or whatever that might look like for you. It might even look like for you, your book's just sitting there dormant, sitting in the corner in boxes, collecting dust, deteriorating. After all that time you have taken to write your book. And I know it's not fair. I know it's not fair. You're saying, well, I was so excited about writing my book. But, my book is just sitting there. Nobody's buying my book. So on these shows, what we teach you is, the correct way to position your book, to get your book out there so your book could work for you instead of, you struggling, trying to pull things together in order to make it work. And with that being said, let me introduce myself. I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, your number one inspirational book coach. And I teach women how to maximize their potential, how to, take that knowledge, take what's on the inside of them, and turn it into a marketable tool, which is your book. You have to stop leaving money on the table. You got to stop that, And this is, like I say, this is a brand new year. And, in this brand new year, we're talking about goal setting. And, goal setting is very important when you talk about writing your book, getting your book started. And, we even drop tidbits in these segments about, you're not overspending or underspending or, wasting your money, by just trial and error. We teach you the right way in order to be successful in writing your book. And with that being said, let me introduce you to my co-host, Tiffany, and let her tell you something about herself.
Great morning, everyone. Great morning. And I am seeing in the chat and I am attempting to respond to everyone. So good morning. I may be a little delayed, but you are not denied. So if I haven't said hello to you yet, good morning. I am super grateful to be here on this morning on this side of heaven. I am Tiffany Rochelle, also known as the People's Cheerleader. And I am the woman who has taken on the great task of helping women to rid the toxins from their heart, and to encourage you, to let you know that you will be able to survive and make it another day. And you don't have to hold on to bitterness, anger, frustration, or anything like that. You are able to live a vibrant life without having to hold on to anger or even fear. So all that stuff gets held up in your heart, and we believe the heart, it holds a lot of treasure in there, but you don't have to treasure hate and anger and being mad. You don't have to treasure all that. You'll be able to function with the happiness that's going on inside of you, because I definitely believe out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. So let's go ahead and spread a little bit of love and have a great heart. So that's what I help you to do. And again, I'm an author and I am a speaker, and I'm also a goal coach. And so that's another thing that I deal with, is help you to set goals that are true to you. So Uh, I love to tell you at the end of my speech that I always say, please drop your comments in the section and communicate with us via the comment section. Share this link if it is impactful to you with your friends and family on your timelines, or send them a telephone call them, text them, and let them know what broadcast you are watching. So we are excited to talk to you, and we're able to dive in, as Miss Gertrude would say. So let's go ahead and start this turning your passion into profit.
Yes, diving into that deep dive. Good morning, Lakeisha. Good morning, Regina. Thank you for being with us this morning. We're certainly glad that you took time out of your busy schedule to be here with us, And just like Tiffany said, get interactive, get there in those comments, because we answer your question live, okay? Live, in real time. And no question, don't think your question is silly or out of reach or whatever it may be. Get there in those comments. If you have a comment, if you have a question, we'll answer those questions in real time. And Tiffany, that's just so important. What we're going to talk about today: why hire an editor? Editing a book is a very crucial step. And a lot of times people just skip over that step. They skip over it. They say, well, I could get my friend to, look over it, or I could get my coworker, or I could get my mom or whoever to look over it. And that's something that should never be done. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's something that should never be done, because audience, what I want to, bring to your attention again, okay? Brand new year. Maybe you have written a book in the past, okay? But let's start off the right way. Let's start off, taking responsibility, because your book is very important, okay?
Sure.
And
Sure.
there's certain things that you should never skip over. There's
Sure.
things that you should take pride in doing it the right way. Stop cutting corners, because that, when you cut corners, Tiffany, this is a mindset thing. This is just coming to my mind right now. This is a mindset thing. A lot of times people cut corners. And this is another thing that could devalue them. Okay. Thinking that, well, they don't deserve this. They don't deserve that. But you got to realize that you deserve it, okay? And your book is very important. You're not insignificant. Your book is not insignificant, because just like we have shared on these previous broadcasts, you have a great responsibility to your audience. Okay? I don't know if you know that, but you have a great responsibility to your audience, because you're speaking into their lives. Not only speaking, but we're talking about a book, you're writing into their lives. You have an opportunity to change the way they think, the way they live, the way they act. And it's a great responsibility. So you shouldn't try to cut corners by saying, well, I could just save a few dollars over here instead of me hiring a professional, because that's what we're talking about today: hiring professionals. Okay, hiring professionals. You may think that you could do it, and hiring an editor is so much more than just having your girlfriend or your coworker or whoever reading over your book. It's important.
Definitely is. The only time it's beneficial is unless you have one of those friends that actually have that. That's their field or that's their background. Because sometimes that could be beneficial if that's their background and they might be one of your good friends. Then they were like, that's not quite how the story started. That's the only benefit for that. But you're absolutely right. Having somebody professional to do this for you, it's that second set of eyes that's able to go ahead and get you to where you're really trying to relate to your audience. So hiring a professional is definitely something that's you need to do, because sure, you can think that you're writing your stuff in Word, and because it don't have the little squiggly line underneath there, you think that that's okay. No, go beyond, get you a professional and get somebody to help you so that they can best portray who you are versus you just feeling like I didn't get the squiggly line in Word. Get you a professional. And that's the catch, is we need to be able to get us an editor, regardless to if it's an editor. And I'm going to take it a step further. Regardless to if it's an editor for your book, you may need an editor for your life, as in go find a couch to sit on, go find you a coach that's going to be able to help you edit your life as well. So hiring a professional and getting a professional in your life is definitely something that's needed. Don't forsake that. Don't skimp on you, because you're
Oh,
worth it.
yes.
So what you want the people to see and how you want to be portrayed, that editor is kind of helping you with that. So don't skimp on you. You're worth it.
Yeah, and I like that what you put in there. Don't skimp on you. Okay. A lot of times people skimp on themselves. They'll cut back on themselves. And that's something that should never be done, because, that again, that's something that devalues them. People don't think about that, those little things, but those little things, just like, oh, well, I got to buy this, I got to be cheap here. I got to be cheap there. No, all those things, you can't have that mindset, because audience, you are worth it. You are worth it. Yeah, Lakeisha said, yes, y'all only be cheating yourselves. And that is so true. You'll only be cheating yourself. You'll only be cheating yourself. Don't ever cheat yourself. Don't ever, devalue yourself by thinking that you're not worth it, that you can't afford it, that you can't have it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Thinking that, it's so expensive, you know, you can't think that way. You have to, in this new year, when we're talking about goal settings and different things of that nature, and we're going to have a workshop coming up in February. And this is our first one to talk about goal settings. And we're going to, give you more information about that. But you could always go to that information that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, Linktree/online book coach, and sign up for that, because it will become, or look forward to it. Okay, it's not on there yet, but this is something that will be coming up in February, because I know a lot of times, Tiffany, people don't know how to set their book writing goals. And we say book writing is a journey. Okay, it's a journey. It's a writing journey. But before you start talking about writing a book or thinking about writing a book, there should be some goals that are set. And setting those proper goals is key to getting that book out there, and making it profitable. Because just like I said, your book is supposed to be working for you, not you stressing over getting your book out there. Your book is a vehicle that opens many doors of opportunities for you. And this may be something later on that we'll have a workshop again about the opportunities that it opens up for you, and how to walk in, or even notice those opportunities and walk into those opportunities. It's a great way. It's a great vehicle. So never look at it as, cutting corners and, trying to be cheap and overlooking something. You need a professional, whether it's a book coach, whether it's an editor, whether it's a cover designer, to design your cover. And it's past Canva, y'all. It's past Canva. If that is not your profession, okay, you should hire somebody. Don't ever think that you cannot hire somebody, because a lot of times what happens, Tiffany, people think, oh, it costs that much money. It costs so much money. And really, actually, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It does not at all. It's not that bad. And I love this statement, and I'm telling you now, I'm taking it and I'm posting it. I'm going to give you your credit. But the statement Sister Lakeisha says is, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Listen, when I tell you, that is a whole blessing to me right there. When she made that statement, stop cheating yourself. That is the worst thing that you can do. You don't ever want, kid you not, if I happen to see, I love shopping. Okay. That's something that I love doing. Now, don't get me wrong. I can be a little cheap at times. However, if it's something that I want, it's worth it. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to say that, oh, well, I'll do that. If I see something I want, maybe I need to save for it, but I know it's worth the investment and I'm going to go do that. I don't ever want to cheat on me. I never, ever want to do anything like that. That's so disrespectful. I'm not going to cheat on me. It's what I'm really not going to do. But I definitely will treat myself because, again, I'm a shopaholic, kind of. But I'm not going to skimp on certain things, especially if I like to present myself in a certain way and if I want to look like something. So if I'm presenting my book, which is a portion of me, why wouldn't I make an investment? I'm worth the investment. So I'm not. Thank you very and much for that. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. And I'm a good old treat. Thank you.
That is so true. No, that is good. That is good. Yeah, thank you for that comment, Lakeisha. That is so good. Yeah, you got to treat yourself, right? Why skimp on yourself? Yeah, why skimp on yourself? Because what? You are your investment, the best investment there is, okay? That's why you should never cheat on yourself. And we talked about your book is you, okay? Your message is you. We don't separate them. So why are you going to cheat yourself? Why are you going to cheat yourself? And that moves us into the first talking point. Have a mindset of investing in yourself. You have to invest in yourself at the level that you expect results. Okay? Invest in yourself. You're not depreciating. Okay? You're going up in value. You're not depreciating. There's value inside of you. Okay, there's so much inside of you, y'all. There's those treasures, those gems, all those things that are precious, precious jewels.
Yeah.
But still, you think a Rolls Royce is more than you. A Rolls Royce can't touch you.
It can't at all.
At all. A Rolls Royce, I don't care if it's handmade and how long it takes. There will be some depreciation, but you will never depreciate. Absolutely. You will always appreciate. Okay? So learn how to change your mindset and begin investing in yourself. You're expecting a certain result. Okay? Or maybe you're not. But I want to let you know, expect, okay? Expect you to sell 1 million copies of your book, okay? We're stretching, Tiffany. We're getting people's mindset there. 7.9 billion people in this world, okay? There's a lot of somebodies out there for you. What everybody else is making their millions, as we were talking about earlier this week. The actors and the sports athletes and different ones like that. You're sitting around watching TV all day or whatever it may be, okay? And I'm not coming against TV. I know it's entertainment, okay? I know. I'm not coming against that, okay? But they already made their millions.
Yeah.
Okay? But there's millions out there for you to make also.
Sure.
And you might be saying, oh, that's way out there. Millions. Y'all, $1 million is not a lot of money, okay? We're going to do a class on that. I'm going to show you how to break it down where you can make your millions. $1 million is not a lot of dollars. It's not this thing that you can't achieve. You can achieve it.
Okay.
Okay. It's achievable. It's possible.
It is.
All right. So you got to shift your mindset. You have to see yourself achieving those things. And the way you shift your mindset is begin investing in yourself at that level that you want to achieve. Okay. For 2022, this is the way you're going to think. Okay. You're not going to have those limiting beliefs thinking that, what are some of those old crazy things that we done heard from our parents and everything? Oh, money don't grow on trees and all that foolishness. You think I have a money tree or whatever. You got to crawl before you walk. No. You got to get that old mindset out.
Yeah.
Okay. Take that old mindset out because that's an old mindset. You have to see yourself achieve it. You have to do it. Okay. You just can't sit back on the sidelines. You got to get in the game.
You got to get in.
You got to get in the game.
If you want to win, get in.
Huh?
If you want to win, you got to get in it.
You got to get in there. You know, you've been sitting on the sidelines for too long. It's time to get in the game. It's time to begin investing in yourself at the level that you expect results. Okay? And stop not expecting results, okay? Because you know, sometimes, Tiffany, people just go through the routine. They just go through the motion of writing, but they're not expecting anything. They're not expecting their book to sell, okay? Or maybe they're expecting just 10 copies to sell. And then they find with that. That's how they have their books, you know, in the corner, in the box, in the garage, sitting there collecting dust and deteriorating, okay? Because they're really not expecting a lot of people to buy their book, because they're really not seeing the value that they have inside of them. Okay, but this year you're gonna change. You're gonna have to change your mindset, the way you see yourself. You're gonna have to see yourself, as somebody of value. You're gonna have to see yourself, because you're talking about maximizing your potential. You know, maximize your potential. Use everything that's on the inside of you. You know, the graveyard is a very, you know, rich place. Okay,
it is.
There's a lot of value in the graveyard. You know what I mean? Oh, it's gone now. People who have never have died with their dreams, have died with those books inside of them, because they didn't maximize their potential. They lived the bare minimum. The bare minimum just getting by. 2022, Tiffany, there's no just getting by. Okay, you're either gonna win or you're gonna fail. Point blank.
I plan to win. I plan to win. I was in our little pep talk that we had earlier today. Failing is not an option.
Oh no,
it's really not. I kid you not. It's not an option at all. This is the 6th day into this month already, and you cannot have the mindset of defeat. It just cannot be your portion. That cannot be your lot. So it's one of those little things we're going to win. And that's what we plan on doing, is being a winner. You just have to shift your mindset anytime an obstacle comes, or anytime something transitions in your life and you feel like you're not going to overcome. You have to immediately shift your mind, because that's going to start affecting your body. When you automatically have that, the negativity, it starts affecting you. You're going to get drained. You're going to get headaches. You're going to start getting nerves. Body parts start twitching. And no, you don't want to end up doing that. Start training. If stuff starts to seem like it's going a little bleak or whatsoever, no, go ahead and shift your mindset and start training your brain. No, I'm going to win. You said you were going to win, so show yourself you're going to win. Keep up the fruits. Take a moment, take a break, inhale, exhale, go for a walk, but get right back into the game. Do not have the defeated mindset. The assignment that we have on our life, we're going to pass it on purpose.
Yes. Yeah. Pass it on purpose. Good morning, Gayla. You know, good morning. Those that join us, I think that's Aptim. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name right. You know, please forgive me if I'm not. But good morning to our YouTube viewers also. The ones that's coming from YouTube, Facebook, and also on the LinkedIn side. It's so true, Tiffany. It's so true. It's so true, y'all. We're moving into a great year, a great year. And Arthur, I'm telling you, you are a person that has a lot of treasure on the inside of you, a lot of treasure on the inside of you. And you haven't even tapped into what's really on the inside of you. If you take time out to just, get to know who you are, and you'll find out some things that'll even blow your mind. There's so much on the inside of you. And this brings us to the next point. Who does an editor serve? Okay? Who does the editor serve? And this is something, when you choose an editor, okay? Choose an editor for your genre of book. Okay? All editors are not the same. That's another thing. All editors are not the same. Choose that editor for the genre of your book, whether that book is nonfiction, whether it's a memoir, whether it's poetry, whatever it may be. Okay, choose somebody who specializes in that area that you're writing your book in. A lot of times people just just choose an editor, okay, without doing their research. But authors, you have to do your research. You have to do your research, just like you do research in anything else. Okay, you go, if it's your car, okay, just say if it's your car and you have to go and get it serviced, you're gonna uh look and see what this dealership has, as opposed to that dealership, where they could service your car, so your car could be functional, getting it back to where it needs to be or whatever. Okay, so always choose an editor and find out who that editor serves. Do your research, okay, for your genre of book, because it makes a difference. And it's not saying that that editor is bad or anything like that, but that's not what that particular editor does. Okay, your editing process will go much smoother if you choose the right one for your book. That makes a big difference, Tiffany.
It does. You definitely want to be able to have the person that's going to showcase you the best, because it doesn't make sense for you to have a OBGYN working on your cat. It just doesn't work. You need to go to a veterinarian. And so even though they may possibly be like, oh yeah, I had an animal and this animal, this is what I did for it, they might be able to tell you something. They may look and, oh, okay, but that's not their specialty. Go to an editor that is able to showcase what you do and what you want, to make sure that they're maximizing the potential of your book, and that's going to get you out there in its best ability. And again, I personally believe the editor doesn't just have to be limited to just the editor for your book. Make sure you get the proper editor for your life. So when you write your book, you're able to write your book effectively, and you'll be making the editor's job a little bit easier, because you've kind of already worked through the process that's in your brain and that's going on within you. Hiring the proper person that works for you, making sure your chemistry is well. You want to make sure whoever you're dealing with, your chemistry is connecting. You have to be able to be with the right individual. Don't do it just because, oh, you're cheaper, or, oh, you're going to do this for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Make sure it connects, because you want to make sure your vision that you're writing on paper is connecting with the individuals. And whoever you hire needs to make sure that they are able to make your vision come to pass.
Yeah. And that's so true. It's very, very important about that connection, and that's like, we're going to get to that even more when we go to the last one, I believe. But that's very important, because it makes a big difference in your book. It makes a big difference in, that book really getting out there and working for you in this best light. It does. It does. And, an editor is also, you need that critical voice.
Have to have it.
You got to have that critical voice. And don't get upset if somebody tell you, well, it needs to be this way, that editor, because now you've hired this person, and that's what you hired them to do, to have that critical voice to tell you, no, it shouldn't have been this way, it should have been this way. So you have to have some trust. That's why you hire. And I'm not going to get, because I want to skip over some stuff to get there, but we'll answer that more, in the fifth question and the fifth talking point. But you need that critical voice. Okay. That's why it has to be that fit. You need that critical voice, because that editor is going to give you a critical voice, as opposed to your children, somebody or a friend or a coworker or a neighbor. Looking at, well, I've written this book and I'm gonna get my neighbor down the street just to edit it for me, just to look over it for me. Is that person gonna really give you that critical voice? Is that person gonna tell you the truth? Maybe that person just don't know. They just don't know, Tiffany. Okay, you can't blame that person. They just don't know. They're just looking over it. And what they're doing, really, they're looking for grammatical errors. They're looking for typos. That's all they're looking for, because everything will seem fine to them, because they're not trained that way.
Sure.
Okay? They're not trained. They're not a professional. You have to hire professionals. If you expect professional results.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't get mad at that person. They just don't know,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
True. True. Mm-hmm.
But that's what happens to some people. Well, I got my neighbor down the street, Betty. She looked over my book and everything. Now, Betty told you some things that you're upset,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe your book then got out there, and
Mm-hmm.
somebody or you went back and you looked over because you missed it,
Yeah.
because you're too close to your work. So you
Mm-hmm.
looked over, you didn't see it, but now you see this error. Oh, my book is out there,
Yeah.
and I got this, I got that. Betty should have told me better.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
Betty didn't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Betty's not a professional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't blame Betty.
You can't blame her.
You should
Mm-mm.
invest in yourself by
Mm-hmm.
hiring a professional editor.
Mm-hmm.
And how
Mm-hmm.
many times that happened?
Right. 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 Even in the process of are you trusting the critical voice that's in your life? If you've hired this individual and they have said, these are they, correct this, or this is what's needed, this is what you hired them for. Don't get mad, and even then, sometimes we have those friends and family members that are in our lives that go ahead and say certain things to us. It's okay to accept the advice that they're saying. Now, understood is tone that does matter. However, listen to what's happening so you can become better. We want your book to be the best book that's out there, that's out there, period, that's published. Make sure you take the advice. Don't get mad at what you hear. Make sure you just do what is told, especially if it's something it's like corrective criticism. If somebody is going to tell you something that's going to help correct you, go with that. They're not trying to hurt you. They're just here to help you.
Yeah.
Trust the voice that you put in your life.
Yeah.
And if you can't trust that voice, you need to move on.
Need to move on. And that's also a mindset issue also, okay? We have to be open, okay? We have to open ourselves up. We can't just close ourselves up to my way is the only way. It's either my way, how did you say? It's
My
either
way or the
my way or
highway.
the highway, right? Either my way or the highway. You have to open yourself up, to accept those things, to receive constructive criticism if you want to, better yourself.
Sure.
They're not trying to hurt you. They're only trying to help you to get the best version out, those editors, to get the best version of your book out there, whatever that might look like for you. But don't get upset and don't get angry, because there's different types of editors, okay, of editing. There's, you have, that's another thing, you have to be specific, okay? There's different type of editor. A lot of times people look at just proofreading, because that's what we talk about, having Betty down the street. Betty's just going to proofread. She's going to look for grammatical errors. She's going to, look for all of these other things. And that moves us to the next one. I didn't want to, get ahead of myself. Understanding the role of an editor. An editor is more than proofreading. It's more than grammatical errors, put it that way. It's more than that, because there's developmental editing, where they really, go in there and they do that deep dive on you. And, there's different things that they really do in there. And that's more of an intense editing, thing. Then there's substantive editing, where they're looking at, the different components that's going together and everything. So it's much more than proofreading, because proofreading is the final step. Okay, that's where you catch all these other things, these grammatical errors and those typos and different things of that nature. But editing is much more than that, because usually what people look at, Tiffany, is just for grammar and typos. They don't even consider the other thing. You remember I told you about your boy way back in the day, when he had given me this book, and I looked over and I said, oh my God. I mean, the ideas were all over the place, They were all over the place. He started off here. He went to something else. Then he came back in chapter 30. I'm just saying chapter 30. I don't know. With the same thing he did in 5. And it was just, his thoughts were just all over the place. You know, a lot of times people say, well, I could write a book. A book is no problem, but they're not, you know, they have things all over the place, you know, all over the place. And this book that, you know, was brought to me, and that was the time when I was publishing books. A friend had told me, well, he just needs to upload it, okay, on the platform. And I asked the question, I said, has everything been done? Has it been edited? Had it, you know, gone through that process? Because, you know, I'm not an editor, okay? I'm not an editor. I know, you know, I could get it up on the platform. I could do all these things. And besides that, and they said yes. But when I got this man's book and I began to read over it, I say, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. You see, by him not having the proper editor, he didn't have an editor. He probably got Sister Girl down the street or somebody, one of his friends, to look over his book.
Right.
And they were just reading it. Oh, well, man, you know, this seems like it's good, you know, it's a good book, but no. Yeah. Hire. Don't forget to invest in yourself. Never be afraid, like I said, to invest in yourself at the level that you expect results, because it's very important.
It is.
It's very important. It can make you or break you.
Yeah.
Okay. Or cause somebody to take your book after they have bought it and just lay it down. Haven't even read the book, because that book gave me a headache. Okay. It gave me a headache. I gave him his book and his money back to him because I couldn't do it. It needed to be edited. Okay. And you don't want to ever present yourself to your audience that way, to your readers that way, because words get out and they'll never buy another book from you again. Okay. Never.
Truth.
Never. Because your book has to flow.
It has
and it takes more than, you know, I'm organized, I'm flowing in ideas. Y'all hire an editor. Okay. Hire an editor. You're worth it. Invest in yourself. Stop holding back, as Lakeisha said. Stop cheating yourself. Stop cheating yourself out of an opportunity to better yourself. You got to stop that. You got to stop that. Okay.
Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Treat yourself. And I think that was a good one, right? That was a good one.
That has blessed my whole spirit. You don't understand. Oh my God. I want to put it on a t-shirt. Like, I absolutely love it. But they need to understand the purpose of an editor and understand editors should be, if you're getting the right editor, they should be a creative individual. They're very knowledgeable on a broad range of information that they're able to talk to you about. So, I mean, kind of like understanding and knowing what the purpose of an editor is, because like you said, they're very detail oriented. You know, they should have good judgment and making sure your book flows like it's supposed to. And God knows they need to make sure that their language and writing skills is up to par, because we need to make sure, we talked about this once before, knowing the difference between their, like THERE and
yes.
IER. You need to know the difference. So they're looking out for certain stuff like that also. I mean, but getting that person that's going to get in there to present your best package is beautiful. You need to make sure, hire your editor, please and thank you, and understand what their role is.
Yes,
they're going to present you to be your best, because even if you're planning on writing multiple books, they may not know what your first book is, but once they know that you have written other books, they're like, oh, wait a minute, I like the way that this book went, this book flowed, there's more from this. Oh, well, since there's more, let me go see what your other books was about. What was your first works like? Let me see this and let's go from there. My daughter loves Chris Brown, and she likes some of, me and her were listening to his first album compared to some of the stuff now. She was like, oh, we could tell all the differences in his sound, how it sounds. It's just a little bit different. But for her, she likes the beginning work. She loves the way an individual, seeing how you were able to grow from what you started as and what you're finishing as. And so, like, having that proper editor in place, you might have a perfect work for one of your books in your series. But if that individual that's reading that didn't know your prior work, once they find that out, they're like, wow, but the editor helps you to have that wow moment. You want to make sure you have
Yes.
that person in your life to give you that wow factor.
Yes. And good morning from the YouTube side. Here's another name I cannot pronounce. Max
Yeah,
something. I'm
not for sure.
sorry, cannot
I'm
pronounce
not
your
for
name,
sure.
but thank you for joining us today.
Uh-huh.
On Turning Your Passion in the Profit Morning Show.
Mm-hmm.
We thank all of our viewers for, taking time out of their busy schedule. And Regina asks, do you know good editors? How do you find a good editor? You know, I find there's people that I network with. Good morning, Blanche. How you doing today? Thank you for joining us today on Turning Your Passion in the Profit Morning Show.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that I network with, and there's a lot of people that I know for being in the industry for a while. So, I could get with you on that, give you suggestions, and then you could check them out to see what's a great fit for you. And she had another question where she said, reading. I think she said, let me see what she said. Yeah, proofreading is the final step. Yes, it's the final step. That's the only step that a lot of people know. Okay, proofreading. Okay, that's the only step, but that is the final step. There's other steps in front of that. Okay, there's other things that need to take place before you get to that final step, because that's what Betty down the street does for you. That's what your cousin does for you. That's what your coworker does for you. They're proofreading. That's all they're doing. Because if they're not that professional, they don't know to do those other things. They're just going to say, oh, that's a good book. Oh, I just can't wait for your book to come out. But they don't know any better. Okay. So hiring a professional, just like you, if you have to go to the doctor, just like, Tiffany said, I don't know if she said this way. If you have to go to the doctor, you're going to a doctor that has a license. You're going to a professional, So you're expecting professional results. But if you go into anybody, if you're going to friends or family or whatever, don't expect professional results from them if they're not proficient in that area. And that's the same way for a book designer. Oh, I could do it on Canva. I could do this, that, and the other. No. If you're not a professional, if somebody else is not proficient in that area, hire you a cover designer, because it makes a whole lot of difference. You understand? That's where you save time and you save money. What would have taken you? You got to even consider your time. Okay, consider your time. You didn't take it. It's taking you all day to do something that would have taken a professional maybe 10 minutes at that. Because when you're talking about book designing, those pixels, you got to get things right. You got to have that picture, the color of the cover and everything. And we're going to talk about that because, I'm going to get into that, Tiffany. I'm going to get into that. So I don't want to talk about that because we're talking about editing today. But it makes a difference, y'all. It makes a difference. Hire a professional at the level, invest in yourself at the level that you expect results. And if you're not getting those results, don't go blame that person because they didn't know. Okay? And you don't know what you don't know. But you have to understand the role of an editor. The role of an editor is very important. And then we're going to talk about having it be a good fit. Okay? Find somebody that's a good fit for you. Somebody that you can work with. Somebody that, that will tell you. And again, okay, don't get your feathers ruffled if somebody's giving you a critical opinion of something, okay? Because you're hiring this person, and this person's going to put you in the best light, your book in the best light. So your book could, get out there and do what it's supposed to do for you. So don't get your feathers in a ruffle and get mad at that person and talk bad about that person. Find you a good fit, okay? Find somebody that, that will work with you, okay? work with you. Don't have attitude situations with people. That's another thing, Tiffany. People with attitudes. We got to change that, y'all. We got to change having attitudes. And
please and thank you.
We got to change that. People are trying to help, okay? Mm-hmm. When you find this editor, that editor is trying to help you, trying to put your book in the best light, trying to, help that book help you, open doors for you. So, think of it that way. A good fit for you, a good fit for your book. And we already talked about that, finding that editor that's in that genre of the book that you're writing. Just not any editor. This is not in general, okay? Be specific. And that's another thing. When you good fit is being specific, okay? Being specific in what you want. Ask that editor, okay, what comes with his or her service. Because that's another way people get mad because they expecting this when they didn't even, ask that editor what they're getting. Okay? Because all editors are not alike. Some are in specific areas, and that's what they deal with. Others may cover a whole lot more, and that's what they deal with. You have to be specific. So make sure it's a good fit for what you're looking for. Because you can't get mad. You can't get mad if you don't ask the right questions. It makes a big difference, Tiffany. It makes a big difference.
I think you cut in and you didn't give me nothing else to add to that, daughter.
You didn't get nothing else to add? I know you got something.
You always be talking so doggone good. But I mean, I actually almost really kind of touched on this good fit earlier when I was speaking on earlier today when we were earlier in the segment. That's what I should try to say. Yeah. Is making sure whoever you talk to is a good fit and having the right chemistry for you. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's very imperative that that's who we do. We need to select individuals that are going to be a good fit and that's going to broadcast us in this proper way. So, I mean, you nailed it. And I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. So we got that good fit. The only thing I'm going to add to you is it's like an outfit. I can give you an analogy, but woman, you summed that up. I ain't touching that. No, ma'am.
Well, I was trying to even jump over that stuff because everything's flowing in that. Mm-hmm. That other things were coming in, about book designers and stuff like that. And I don't want to get into that. That's a whole different thing. Everything's flows because, and this is what we tell you, authors. This is what we tell you. It's a river that never runs dry, okay? If it's inside of you, it's going to come out of you. And sometimes we have to just kind of hold back, okay, and say that's a segment for another show. A segment to another show because it could be hours on here talking about books, talking about because when we see, and I'm telling you, audience, y'all pull stuff out of us that's not even on the paper, okay? That's not even in the script. Y'all pull things out of us, and we try to answer these things, even though you may not be asking these things, but you're on the other side, and you just have to know you're pulling stuff out of us, okay?
Yeah, you are. And we love that. And that's one of the reasons why we encourage that interaction all the time, because that's something that's definitely is what's needed. And when you pull from us, I mean, y'all really pulling. And it's a good thing, though. So there is no complaints there at all. So I don't want you to feel like there is ever a complaint there, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're iron sharpening iron. So we always should be trying to strive to make each other better and become a better individual. And you're making sure that we stay on our P's and Q's and we stay well educated so we can stay the experts in our field. So we're super grateful for that. And making sure, we're even the right fit for you. So them questions and comments, they work and they bless our entire life. Because we want to make sure we stay that good fit for you. We want to make sure the content you bring is good. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying what you said, that good fit up.
Yeah.
The content is good.
Mm-hmm. That good fit matters because you're going to wear it a long time when it fits good. You're going to keep reading it. I'm going to broadcast it when it's a good fit. You got your good editor and it fits you well. I'm telling you, but I'm going to tell you, this is the one that I use. Hey, this is what's going on. Only reason why I can't broadcast mine is because they haven't started theirs just yet. They still got a little bit of back stuff before their business actually launches. So I'm like, okay, but I can suggest to you mine. soon as their company opens, soon as they launch, I'll be able to cheat. So I got you covered. I'll be able to make that suggestion because I have a favorite one because they were so instrumental to me. So yeah.
Yep. And when you find those good fits, we stick with them. We stick with them. Good
Absolutely.
morning, Janelle. Thank you for being here with us today. It's such a pleasure to see all of our, we say family members.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
we're gonna call
family.
them, right? With
That's
our
family.
family chiming in with us today, and
Mhm.
dropping those comments in the comments section,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
definitely appreciate that.
Yes,
But
but
as we're wrapping up this segment,
Mhm.
remember, hire a professional editor for your book,
Mhm.
so your book could work for you. That's
Mhm.
very, very important, y'all. Very important. Allow your book to work for you. Each book, okay? Each book is going to open up doors of opportunities for you, okay? Where you never have to worry about anything. And you have to have that mindset. You have to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. I want you to get that. See it before you see it, or you'll never see it. You're going to maximize your potential this year. We at the 6th day of January, and it's not too late to challenge yourself to do better than what you did last year. Okay? Because last year is gone, and this is a brand new year. The brand new year. So challenge yourself to maximize your potential and allow your book to open up those doors of opportunities for you.
Yes.
Don't forget to invest in yourself at the level that you expect results.
Absolutely. Because you ain't cheating yourself. You go, I'm
You're not
sorry.
cheating yourself.
Okay. I'm sorry. They just blessed me so much.
That is a good one, right?
Listen, I'm sorry. That I probably gonna be saying that all day. I'm not sorry. But I'm probably be saying that all doggone day today.
But that's a good one. You're not cheating yourself, right? She
You
said
gonna
you're
treat yourself.
you're treating yourself,
Treat
right?
yourself. Uh-huh. That
Yes,
blessed me. Oh my
yes,
God, that blessed me.
yes, yes.
That's blessed
We're
me.
gonna get these people to see their value. These authors gonna see their value. They're gonna be
Absolutely.
unstoppable because I can see it. They're unstoppable. Okay, they're unstoppable. Nothing's gonna stop. They're in the game, Tiffany. They're in the game. They're not on the sidelines anymore.
Not
They're
at
in the
all.
game. Yeah.
They are not
It's
on
only
the
the
sideline.
6th day, right? And they coming out with these things. What? Don't what did she say?
Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself.
All right. They coming out the gate already. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's what we appreciate you, audience, as we're wrapping up, because we're gonna be going over to the coaches corner. And I know Tommy and them will appreciate that we don't run over so we can get there right on time. So y'all follow us over on LinkedIn or on Facebook on the Coaches Corner. And if you don't see the Coaches Corner on Facebook, you just go to Tommy Durrell or Sean Hill's page, and you'll be able to get it there. So for Tiffany and Tiffany and I, we want to tell you to maximize your potential and to invest in yourself. But remember, this is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. Have a great rest of your day.
Grace and peace, y'all.